Welcome to another episode of Lifelong Learner. This is the Out of Class edition with Ben, Janesh, and Matt. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome back to another episode of Lifelong Learner. Today we're joined by Benny, and Matt is a little bit asleep as you crown your I'm not sure what to call that now, your microphone with its cover. How you doing this morning, Ben?
Mate, good. It was a bit too glitchy. It was a bit too glitchy for me. I'm not a gold kind of guy.
Yeah, but you are a glitzy type of guy, though.
I am a glitchy guy. But the gold is too. It's too Dolly Parton or Mr. T.
Mr. T. Okay, but then how does? Okay, yes, fair enough. But you do like sparkle. You do like a little bit of glitz and glam.
Yeah, I like the white jeans occasionally, and
yes, you do.
A little bit of open shirt with some beads.
A little bit of open shirt, mate. This is the most I've seen you button your shirt up when you're not wearing a tie.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, I started the day today, and I'm happy to share with our listeners.
Yeah,
because it'll be an interesting journey to track, mate. Because I am day 3 sober.
Wow.
For good is the plan.
For good?
For good.
Okay.
For good. And it's not like I had a drinking problem. I had someone call it alcohol dysfunction disorder. Maybe that's not the term, but it was something like that. It was just that it was really interesting, the conversation that she had, and another conversation that I was listening to by the guy, I can't think of his name, 1 year, no beer. 1 year, no beer. Started off 28 days, no beer, got a book out. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about, I'll take a step back, mate. So
give me what sparked this?
Yeah, look, it's been on and off the agenda for a bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel it the next day. Don't we all? But I always feel it the next day. Mm-hmm. And I felt it more and more as I've got older. And I just don't like the feeling. And I've had this bit of a gut thing. I think I might have mentioned on the show before, this kind of SIBO, just small intestinal bacterial overgrowth thing. And I've been doing everything right, except I've still been having a drink at night time. And so it'd be a glass of wine. It'd be a scotch on the rocks. It would be not all in one night. That's all it would be. Just after work, come through. And that was the only thing that I was doing that wasn't right. And just this gut hasn't been getting better. Mm-hmm. So on Friday, I went out for lunch. We had a lunch function and had some drinks and got home in the afternoon, felt shitty. The guts felt no good. They weren't great overnight. I woke up in the morning. I was bloaty. We went out for dinner again Saturday night. Beautiful restaurant in the city, Matilda's. I had shared a bottle of wine with my wife. Got home, felt shitty, bloaty during the night. Woke up in the morning just with that little bit of, not hungover, but just a bit weary in the morning. And I thought, mate, how many signs do what you need? You know that story about the guy on the roof? About the guy on the roof?
Yeah, about when he's about to jump, right? That one?
No, I'll tell you the story, right? So remember the floods that we've just had up in Queensland?
Yep.
And you've seen the footage there with those homes, and they're like, the water's rising, right?
Yes.
And, you see people literally on their roof waving for help. Well, there's this guy on his roof, and he's waving for help. Well, he's actually not waving for help. He was waving to say hello as this kayak is going past. And by this time, the water's up to the gutters. And he's standing on his roof, and the kayak guy's, mate, the water's rising. It's going up probably 10 centimetres every hour. Mate, you haven't got long. Jump in the kayak, and I'll row you to safety. He goes, dude, I appreciate the offer, but I'm actually all good. I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian 54 years. I go to church every weekend. I pray regularly. God's got to look after me. I'm okay. And the guy goes, mate, you sure? He goes, no, I'm all good. He goes, all right. He kayaks on. Anyway, this motorboat, this little dinghy comes up, 2 blokes in it, they yell out, dude. By this time, he's up on the apex of the roof, right? Climb down, jump in the boat, we'll take you to safety. He goes, guys, I appreciate it, but to be honest, I'm all good. Christian, 54 years, been to church, praying regularly, believe in God. God's going to save me. And the guy goes, in the boat, they go, mate, this is ridiculous. Like, you've not got long and you're going to be washed away. And he goes, guys, go, I'm all good. Anyway, they go. They leave him. By this stage, he's climbing to the top of the chimney, and he's standing literally on the top of the chimney, and the Westpac helicopter comes over. They got the megaphone going, Mr. Please, we're going to lower the thing, attach yourself, and we'll hoist you up. And he goes, go, I'm okay, go. 54 years, Christian, church, prayer, I believe in God, God's going to save me. And they keep yelling out, mate, you've got literally minutes before you're going to get washed off that chimney. And he's going, I'm fine. Next minute, he's washed away and he drowns. Anyway, he finds himself in heaven. He's at the pearly gates and God's there. And God goes, hey, what's your story? And he goes, what's my story? What's your story, God? He said, I've been a Christian 54 years. I pray regularly, blah, blah, blah. And you let me drown. I thought you were going to save me. God goes, mate, I sent you a kayak. I sent you a boat. I even sent you a bloody helicopter. So that story came to mind on Sunday morning. How many signs do I need to go, mate, this is not working. This is poison. He's not doing any favours. So, as you do these days in 2022, you don't go and find a book on it. You jump on YouTube. So I jumped on YouTube, and there was a heap of really powerful conversations being had there around giving up alcohol. And this guy that did the one you know, Beer, he was talking about don't give up alcohol. Instead, get your health back. Get your fitness back, get your strength, get fitter, get faster, get stronger. He said, we all walk around, and the majority of the population drink, we all walk around a little bit mediocre. We just think it's normal. We think it's normal to be a little bit sore in our joints in the morning and a little bit tired and their head's just a bit fuzzy. And we all just think that's kind of just normal. And particularly as we age and we don't process alcohol as well, we just think that's part of the aging process. Really interesting conversation. And I thought, well, yeah, like we all do. So I went, that's it. I'm going to call it. So, but, you know, who knows how I'll go. The guy that was one year no beer, he was asked on a podcast, the Rich Roll podcast actually, how long did it take you to do 28 days no beer? He said it took me a year.
Wow. Yeah.
It took me 28 days no beer. Hopefully it won't take me a year to do 28 days no alcohol. I'm planning on 28 days. So I've actually signed up for his 90-day program. Yep. He's got a 28-day, he's got a 90-day, and he's got a 365-day.
Oh, the no beer guy.
9 days no beer. Not that I think it all. 28 days no beer or 365 days no beer.
Yeah. So you signed up to the 90-day?
Signed the 90-day one. You get an email every day. There's a Facebook support group. But really it was spending $200 Australian.
It's like accountability.
Yeah, that's all. You know, I haven't even opened up today's email, and so mate, I got to tell you, I'm super excited about it. But there's also a big part of me that's really nervous, and it's making me a bit weird. I went out with Dr. Kell last night.
Yep.
I've got to say, just out for dinner.
Yep.
You arrive, of course, and you sit down. I was waiting for him to arrive, of course, but first thing they come up and go, "Can I get you a drink?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't get me a drink. No, I wasn't. I said, no, just water's all good.
Yeah.
And, mate, I just wasn't, I was a bit awkward. I was a little bit awkward because normally I'd maybe, you know, if I got home early and I'd had a shower and I was waiting for an hour before I headed out, normally I'd probably just pour myself a drink. I'd sit quietly and contemplate the day, and I'd have a drink before I head out, and then we'd head out and I'd get a glass of wine with dinner. And it was just a little bit clunky. After it was a bit clunky. And I think it was, I don't know, it was just a little bit clunky because I'm not clunky during the day. I don't need a drink to be on the podcast at 8 o'clock in the morning, I think. Um, but it was I was just a little bit clunky. So I'm feeling that a little bit. And this week, I was just talking to Michelle on the phone, hence I was a little bit late for our podcast. She was saying, "How you going?" And I said, "You know, this is a really important thing, and I think it's a really big thing. And so, if it's a really important and big thing, I've got to suffer some pain. Okay, there has to be.
Yeah.
And the more pain that goes on in the next week or two, the better, because it means it's important. This was just an easy thing, then it
won't mean much, and it won't last.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it was like, I'm doing that, give up chocolate cake for 90 days. Well, whatever. Like, there'd be no pain with that. So, mate, it's interesting, but I thought I'd share that at the start of our podcast to let you know kind of where I'm at. So this morning, I do fitness stuff in the mornings anyway, because I'm a morning person, I don't call night. But this morning I went for a great swim in the ocean, got a new wetsuit.
Was that like a gift to yourself?
It was a gift. It was a gift from 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it didn't arrive on the weekend. I thought perfect. There's good wetsuits and not good wetsuits. They all sort of look the same until you put them on.
The comfortability and warmth, or what?
Comfortability, leakability, and obviously then warmth. So I bought one that was $200 a few months ago, and it was just terrible. Awful. Just so you know, it was awful wetsuit. So I know you did some good wetsuits, but this one was awful. So I bought another one, and it's just glorious to put on.
Not nice and warm.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's just all the seams are sealed, and it's super flexy. And anyway, so I went for a swim and then jumped out. And there's nothing better, and you would probably appreciate this. You jump out and I quickly strip, like I'm doing triathlon. Quickly strip off, put my running shorts on and my runners, the slip-ons, the elastic ones, so you don't put socks on, and went straight for a run.
Oh, nice. Where'd you leave your new wetsuit?
Sorry?
Where'd you leave your new wetsuit?
In my car.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I strip off. You do a quick, no one's looking. Well, I mean, what are they going to see? There's not much there when it's been in the cold water anyway. Quick strip off, put the running shorts on, slip the runners on, and then head straight off.
Nice.
It's just beautiful because you've got that cold tingle and you're running, and it was a magnificent way to start the day. But how about your day? How did you start today?
Mate, wait, hold on. Today's been good. So I was up early just packing, actually. I'm off to Sydney this afternoon. Yeah, for like probably less than 24 hours. So I fly to Sydney today, got a gig tomorrow morning, and then 9 till 2, and then I'll fly back tomorrow afternoon. So a bit
with the prison guys?
With Transport, actually. Yeah, with Transport. Yeah, same connect. Some team and culture and kind of two departments coming together for them. So, so I was packing, mate. I was packing Lego. I was packing puzzles. My 3-year-old daughter comes out and goes, "What's that?" Like, I want to play. And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what the adults are going to play with." So yeah, a bit of that this morning. And when you're like, oh, I'll pack the night before or I'll pack the morning. And last night I was like, oh, no, it's fine. I got time in the morning. And then in the morning I was like, I wish I just ironed my shirt last night and had it all ready. And this time I'm going the day before, which is nice. So I don't need to catch the plane in good to go clothes, so I can have it all ready. But I'm not sure. I'm a stickler sometimes with irons. And you get to a hotel room and they got like this black crap on the iron, and I'm like, I don't want that on my shirt. And they don't have a spare bed sheet to put on your shirt just in case. So I've learnt my lesson on fucking up a shirt once or twice with a hotel iron.
Or it's got a bit of the water left, and the water's got a bit dirty.
Yeah, and you just put it on, and it just fucking stains your shirt. I was like, nah. So I'll iron my shirt this morning before I leave and fold it nicely. But yeah, no, that was my morning this morning. But mate, coming back to the alcohol, I've got a question for you. When you say the nervousness about the social interactions, so do you think it's a bit of just a relearning on how to say get that jive back without the alcohol? in a social setting, not a social. Let's go social weekend and social nighttime setting, not social day setting. Do you think it's a bit of a relearning, reprogramming?
Yeah, I think it is. It's interesting. One of the conversations, I was listening to Jordan Peterson. He's got a really nice, again, a YouTube interview talking about alcohol. And he was saying that you never, when you drink alcohol, you're not the real you. It's a different version of you. It's not the real you. It's a different version of you. And so many of us have never been out socially and been us, real genuine like us, and actually got to really just try on being the genuine you. So I'm kind of really looking forward to that, to being this, like I am with you on this podcast and like I am through the day, and being that at night time. And just being the genuine me without the need for alcohol was interesting. Pedersen was saying that alcohol doesn't make you stupid. A lot of people think that alcohol makes you stupid, that you do stupid things. He said that's not what alcohol does at all. What alcohol does is it removes anxiety. So it removes the ego. It removes that protection mechanism to keep you safe. And so that's why people that drink drive at 200 kilometres an hour in their car, because they've lost that anxiety. They've lost it. So it removes the fear. It removes the ego.
Interesting.
And so you do and say things without your normal ego in place. So the challenge, I think, moving forward is building that muscle up again to do and say things, not drive my car at 200 k's an hour, but do and say things that push against that ego, that with a stretch, without ego coming in too quickly and pulling me up unresourcefully. As you and I know, ego is super important when you're standing on the edge of a cliff and you feel a bit wonky. You want ego to come up and say, hey, this is dangerous, trigger the fear response and have you step back. Walking down a dark alley, you see something a bit strange, you want ego to come up and say, hey, this is a bit weird. You want to pull back and run back out of the alley. What you don't want to do is to come up and go, hey, you're about to speak in front of a group of people, don't speak, or run away. So it's about, I think, me now just playing with that ego muscle and kind of getting it to stretch a little bit without a bit of alcohol at night time. So I'll tell you what the biggest, I reckon the biggest and main reason I drink, and I think it's a vicious cycle, mate, I've thought a lot about this in the last couple of days.
I can tell.
Is, a big day like today. So I started this morning. Normally I talk with Rhino for an hour and a half, so from 6 till 7:30. Then I talk with you for an hour. And then at 9 o'clock, I catch up with my EA. We talk for half an hour. And then I've got a short break, and then I catch up with each of my team members back to back. And then I run Thrive Boardroom for an hour and a half. And then I run a team training for an hour. I am literally on holding the state, right, from 6 a.m. through till 3 p.m.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Just holding the energy for lots of different groups of people, right?
Yeah.
And so I get to kind of 3, and then it's like, and then I've got to wrap up a few things here, and I get home maybe at 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's like I need to come back down. And so I just need to come back down. So I go and have a shower, muck around a bit, and then 5:30, 6 o'clock, I go, I'll have a glass of wine. Start cooking a little bit of dinner, sit with Michelle, have a chat about the day. And so the alcohol was to kind of just allow me to come back down. And then, as Pedersen talks about, and so many do talk about, alcohol can do that, but your body starts to process the alcohol. As it processes it, that feeling comes off. The suppression of the alcohol comes off, and the underlying feeling comes back. So what do you need to do?
Have another one, right? Yeah.
One glass.
Yeah.
One more glass. And so the one glass could become 2 glasses. Now, I didn't never play 3 or 4 or 5, but, there'd be I'd have 1 glass or I'd have 2 glasses of wine. And I know people are thinking, mate, no big deal. I have a bottle every night. There are people that have 3 bottles a night.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, 2 was too many. And so it would be suppressed and I'd come down and then I'd wake up in the morning and just a little bit weary, a little bit off, but still wanting to wake up and get into the day. So I'd have a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would find, like at 9 or 10 o'clock, I'd start to dip again.
Yeah.
So I'd grab another coffee. And that was usually it.
Yeah.
And then I'd get through the day and then, again, like at 3 or 4 o'clock, I'd start to dip, get tired. Plus there'd be a tension in my system. So I'd drink, boom, coffee in the morning.
It's a cycle.
So I was continuing. So this morning I had the coffee not because I needed to pick me up, not that I normally do it early in the morning anyway, but it's because I've been for a swim, been for a run, morning coffee, rather than feeling like I needed it as I pick.
Yeah.
So really interesting. So yeah, I'm excited about doing social again and stretching that muscle. It's awkward, right? So dealing with Cal last night, dealing with Al tonight, right? Now Al doesn't really drink anyway, so that'll be easy. But still, I'm out catching up. Then Friday we've got team dinner farewell to Dr. Cal. We're going to Martin.
Mate, is his farewell? He's been with you for so long.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a drink at his farewell?
No celebratory drink, right? Because that's what you got to do. And I've got a bottle of 1999 bloody Dom Perignon, a special bottle that I've been kind of saving. I'm not sure what the date is I'm saving it for, but I bought it in 1999. And it's bloody sitting there undrunk. Anyway, so it's down here at the clinic. And then so I've got that where you and I and Rhino went recently.
Oh, nice.
Many drinks, right?
So good.
We're going back there.
Mate, and it's probably going to be like, hey, last time you were there, you had lots of drinks and a great time, but you can still have, I think it's putting a reference on that you can still have a great time without it.
Yeah.
I think the longest I've gone is 8 months, I think. 8 months, the longest I've gone. And I think it's 8 months. And it was...
Why did you do 8 months?
I did 8 months for a sport, like health fitness reason. But I was young too. I was like 21. Yeah. So a good friend's 21st was later. He was the following year when everyone was turning 22. I didn't drink at his 21st. I did it because I was like, I've qualified for a certain level in sport, and I'm like, it would be stupid to continue drinking. Like it would be like, you've got this chance, you've worked hard to get this chance. Like don't piss it away, and I think it came to a realization where I'm like, I don't want to go and compete at this level and then go, what if I didn't drink? What if I trained harder? What if all this? And I was like, nah, I'm not leaving that to chance. I was DD and that time, that era of most people's lives is go out, drink. You're in uni, you got a high disposable income, not much obligations at that time in life. But I was happy to be designated driver, actually. I was like, it was important. It was hard. It was hard probably the first, first 2 months. But I always had to drink something. I couldn't be empty. Yeah. That was I would go to, like, say, a friend's house casually, and I would walk in with my water bottle, right? Or I would, as soon as we go to order at a bar, I'd just go, can I have soda water and lime, thanks? Like, I wouldn't say, no, I don't want anything. Because then it's that, or like, let's have a glass in my hand all the time. But yeah, it was interesting. But now I think it'll be harder now I think about it. Because then it wasn't a during the week, at the end of the day type of type of situation. It was very much a binge drinking. You go out on the weekend, that's a lot. A lot of 21sts happening then. Not many weddings or engagements at that age, but a lot of stuff going on, a lot of events. But I think it would be harder now. Mate, and also, mate, in a couple of weeks, you're coming camping and the whole family's coming and the whole family will be having a drink. And that's like a day drinking session too, mate.
Yeah. Look, possibly, I was chatting with Loads about this the other day. We're out for morning coffee. I think it must have been, did we have a holiday on Monday? Yeah.
Yes, Anzac.
Yeah, it was Sunday. We were chatting. Anyway, so we're out for coffee and we're talking about it. And, he said basically, I don't drink.
Mm.
Like, he just doesn't. He doesn't have a drink all the time.
No.
He'll go out and have a social drink with us, like if we went out for dinner, he'd have a drink. But there's also a generation that don't drink really either.
Mm.
But there is a lot of people that drink, and I think you're right with what you said. Often when you're young, you have a binge drink. But at our age, and for most people, and particularly for the people that I see that are doing this 1 year, no beer, it's just that subtle every night, that little drip feed of alcohol.
Yeah. Do you think it's a generation or a personality? Because I know people, our generation, that aren't, or not that they don't drink, they're just not big drinkers. So we went out on the weekend to a friend's place in the city, hung out with them at their house, and then went to a local brewery and had some Mexican and came back. And Keisha's not a big drinker. She'll have a drink, but not a big drinker. And same with his partner. She's not a big drinker. Again, we'll have a drink, but then but not a big drinker. Where myself and my friend would be like, okay, I'm like, Keisha, you happy to drive home? Sure. And then we would probably have a few more. So yeah, do you think it's generational or personality? Or the type of person, I should say, as well.
I think it's environment. I always thought that. Environment dictates performance. Old Jimmy Rohn, he used to say something like, and that wasn't Jim Rohn, it was Zig Ziglar. He used to say, he used to say something about, I'm a good Christian, and there you are at the pub every Friday night. And you used to tell your kids, don't lie. And then the phone ring and you'd say, tell them I'm not home. Zig Ziglar, God bless you. So I think it's environment. I think if you hang around with people that drink, you tend to drink. And I think if you fill your mind with stuff where people are drinking too, like if you watch any Netflix doco right now, they drink all the time. Also, I started to watch a series of what was it? It was the people with they've inherited money. They're about to inherit money from the newspaper, the media baron. Anyway, like they just walk into a room in the middle of the day, and there's the
decanter just sitting there,
and they just pour a scotch, and then they come home and they pour themselves a scotch, and you just see people. And I think if we go back to, I'm picturing the black and white movies, the Fred Astaire, they'd have a little martini glass when they were out at some point, and you could see the woman with the black gloves,
yeah,
and the martini and the cigarette, and that would be like a special dress-up, go-out occasion. They weren't at home drinking.
They weren't drinking home drinking martinis, yeah.
It was truly a celebratory special one-off occasion. So I think our generation is now, if you look at the environment, it's just a glass of wine or it's scotch or it's, and, the days of, where the pubs would close at, it was what they call that last swill. It was like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I think there's an environmental shift that supports drinking, and And I think that there is a disposable income at our age now.
Yeah.
Alcohol's quite accessible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the government decided to do lockdown, not COVID, by the way, if you're listening, Dan, it was you. When you decided to create lockdowns, I loved how you decided not to lock down the bottle shops and the cigarette shops. Healthcare businesses closed. Nutrition shops had to close. Health food stores closed. But the bottle shops stayed open through the entire pandemic. Not one studio closed.
And you know what? I think their sales went up in 2020. I was reading nearly 350%, and then in 2021 sustained that growth till still 200%. So when the on and off happened in 21, it was still 200%, double our alcohol consumption, right? It's like it was definitely, I think, people's coping mechanisms, right? I think catching up with people sometimes that after a long time and post lockdowns, you're like, oh, how was it? Yeah, it was good. A lot of things they say is like, oh, I drank too much, right? I drank a lot in that time because it was like, I'll start at 2:00. I'll start at 3:00. Especially for the people in the harsh lockdowns that who had to work from home, right? Had to work from home, had to homeschool, had to all do that, and couldn't go anywhere, couldn't socialize, couldn't go to a friend's house and go, look, let's share a bottle of wine over dinner with friends, which they might do maybe once a week. But instead, let's have a couple of bottles of wine this week, throughout the week. It's, again, that drip feed increased, and it'll be interesting to see at the end of this year what the stats are like after, hopefully, touch wood, a year of no lockdowns, how much of that pattern has sustained and how much has actually maybe bounced back. I would go on a punt and say it's going to sustain a bit more than bouncing back, I think.
I think it'll be interesting to see. But again, our government created an environment where alcohol was on the table. You couldn't get many other things, but you could get your alcohol and you could get your cigarettes. So I think environment. I think in answer to your question, is it a genetic thing? Is it a generational thing? I think it's a cultural thing supported by your environment. And again, I listened to some of the conversations that are being had online around giving up alcohol, and there is a shift in friends group as a result. That you're not the get super loose party guy anymore. You can be the fun guy. I think in our earlier conversation, it was like, how do I bring that fun guy in a social situation? But I probably won't be the super loose guy ever.
Yeah, but your super loose doesn't come out often, does it?
No.
It comes out, but it's not often. Super loose comes out. No,
well, I wouldn't drink. I pretty much. I've never blacked out. I've never.
Yeah, but you don't need, for example, let's take not blackout, but super loose, like crazy ideas. You don't need a lot of alcohol to have crazy ideas. Meaning the equivalent of someone else being, is he really drunk? No, he's just had one beer. That's how he is. Right? I don't think your demeanor, your personality relies on the alcohol. It may make those decisions a little bit easier. A little less rationale or logic will go into it. It's more quicker of a yes. But I don't think it's the say super loose, so to speak. Doesn't come after lots of drinks. Yeah.
No, I agree. So, mate, it's going to be really interesting, and I'm super excited about it, and it's really that nervous and excitement. So I'm actually. There's a lot of joy lurking, but it's a bit like, the leap of faith at the summit, or John thing. There's a real excitement, but there's a real nervousness because you know there's going to be a little bit of pain associated with it.
And you know what? It's probably, if it's any consolation, it's probably a good time of year. It's not coming into summer. For me personally, coming into summer's hard to make a choice like that, if anything. Summer, I don't know. Summer here feels like it's all just I personally drink more in the summer than the winter time. It's winter, it's less out, the sun's less out. But yeah, mate, well, keen to kind of see how the journey goes.
Hopefully 28 days or 90 days only takes 90 days.
Yes, yeah.
That's the plan.
Right, so 2 podcast time will be 28 days.
Yeah, first 28 days. And there's a lot of...
Mate, so this is like the midway point. So next podcast episode will be the midway point of the 28 days. And then the one after that will be the final before the final couple of days.
Yeah. So, and say 28 days to...
form the habit.
Change a habit or something, and then 90 days just kind of seals the deal.
Yeah.
So, there's something like 85% success rate if people do 90 days. You're kicking it permanently. So I'm excited about that. What's news for you? What's going on for you, mate? We've got a race coming up in 3 weeks. And how's the training going?
We do, mate. So, we saw each other 2 weeks ago, and it was just started. It was like, all right, I'm feeling good, right? Mate, that weekend, so Easter weekend on the Monday, mate, the Achilles, I didn't see anyone for my Achilles, right? And I was like, it came good, it's fine. I'm on, mate, Monday morning, it was like, bang. It was like, again, debilitating to move. And I was like, this is not good. So Tuesday morning I called, got an appointment with a physio, and I'm like, just tell me what's going on. Like, it is like in the mornings, we talk about like feeling stiff in the mornings. It is stiff, it is painful in the mornings. Comes good in like an hour or so. But, and he's like, and he had a look at it and he goes, look, there's some Achilles tendinopathy, your calf's got some issues. And it's also, from New Year's Eve, that really bad roll, he goes, you've got still fluid in your ankle here. He goes, what have you done? I go, look, I rolled it at the start of the year. I rolled it maybe once again in March. It wasn't as bad. It was strapped when I rolled it, but I go, it's definitely weak. And he goes, like, oh, that's got some scar tissue there. You've got really shit range of motion. So my training is absolutely pivotally shit at the moment. But getting better range of motion now, which is nice. So I can't, for me to run in the morning, I got to get up a little bit earlier. So I can't run in the morning. Like I get up in the morning, I go, it's painful. Like I need like at least maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes of just walking on it to ease the joint out a little bit, and then I can run. So ran on the weekend. Mate, the 60 is going to be interesting. I've got a final appointment with him the week of, and he's going to be my voice of reason of, I go, look, I'm racing either way. But I've gone, can we have one appointment the Wednesday before the race so you can tell me, is the 60 a good idea, or what what distance do I need to potentially switch to? But no, it's going. Ordered another pair of shoes actually, coming in end of this week hopefully. So
What'd you get?
Brooks Adrenaline. So they've been my go-to for a long time, where especially now with some Achilles stuff, it's got a higher drop, and the ones I've got now are wearing thin. So I was like, oh, you know what? My rationale was like, oh, I'm going to be putting in a lot of Ks. Usually people start to taper now. I'm like, okay, this is when I need to actually put some stuff in. But I think it's a lot of calf stuff now. I gotta be sensible. It's Operation Get to the Start Line now. So, what about you, mate? You've been out there diligently. I've seen you're posting up on Strava quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, those Strava posts, mate, they're automatic because
as soon as you end, I think your Apple Watch is synced.
I've got it up, so it drags from Nike and it drags from. I've got this other really cool app that collates everything and pushes it to Strava. I'll pick my nose because it pops up on Strava. You mate, it was a good, really nice run this morning. It was interesting. My Apple Watch, I don't know,
mate.
Apple, I'm not sure.
What's happening with your Apple Watch, mate? You're hit or miss with that one.
Awesome. The Nike Run app on it is really good. It's sweet. It's simple. It's clean. But their fitness app is really it's third grade. It's the workout app. and it's just third grade. Like,
Yeah.
it's just no good. So it had me swim out this morning, and I never came back. Like, I'm still out at sea as far as Nike's concerned, or as far as Apple is concerned. So, so that wasn't so good. But the Nike Run app I do like, but their workout app is not terrific, but it does post. I'm also using an app, Heavy, Hevy,
On your watch or your phone?
on my phone, which tracks my gym workout. It's really sweet. It's a beautifully put together app, and it's so simple to use. I love it. It's called Heavy. The challenge was that it was also syncing, and all my workouts were getting pushed out to Strava as well.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, I felt like a bit of a wanker because like every twice a day there was something getting pushed out there. Ben's arm and leg workout.
But you can change those settings.
I did. I changed those settings so it doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was going, I'm getting kudos on what? My arm workout. So
that's funny.
I might not look at that. But no, the running is going really good.
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
getting quicker, and it's just feeling easier and easier. Like you, I have a permanent dodgy foot since the fallout.
Mate, how's that going since you've been increasing the load?
Oh, look, it's not great for long distances, so I do pay the price for long distance. I've been getting some myo every week just to kind of keep me
On the calf or just the sole of the foot?
just my legs.
Yep.
Just a bit of myo into there and just, getting any stuff out. Not sure. But, that's been something I've been doing. And
Been doing some calf stuff? I think last time we spoke, you were like, oh, probably need to start.
but like you, mate, I think I need a new pair of running. I think I need a new pair of running. I think I would like a new pair of, if you're listening, Nike, and wanting to, like all that. I'm happy to provide them and do a review. A new pair of Alpha Flies.
Nice.
I would like those with a plate in there. Happy to
That's funny. Mate, I'll send you this this routine for your feet. I've just started doing it again. It's like strengthens up the sole of your feet. So if you're it strengthens up the sole of your feet and also your calves. It's like standing down, you put a tea towel on the ground, and you put your big toe on the corner of the tea towel, and you got to pull in the whole tea towel with just your toes by keeping your heel on the ground. So it's working all of that. Mate, changes form and changes fatigue because I've got no arch on my feet. I've got flat feet, and I notice a difference within a couple of days of it. So if it, yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's having those muscles, isn't it? So yeah, I should have a crack at that. I also need to get my calf raises going. My calves they're not that big.
So maybe instead of posting your arm workout on Strava, maybe post your calf workout.
Yeah, and my tea towel workout. These are all the things that I don't think you need to do when you get older. These are just the things that you need to do if you're training regularly on anything and push your body. And so it's so great to be out running. You and I, we both love those early mornings and getting out and seeing the world. And a couple of weeks ago when we were in Melbourne City, we were meant to run together. Someone did sleep in. No, it's not me.
Awesome.
But we went for a run around the city. And it was just beautiful. Seeing the city back up and everything sort of come to life. And I was really surprised, and I think we talked about this briefly, was that I went for my early morning run. It wasn't that early, like 7 o'clock, and finished by 7:45 or something. And I couldn't get a coffee in the CBD. Now, I get it, Easter, but it was Easter.
No, it was Good Friday. It was it was Saturday. Yeah,
Easter Saturday, which is a normal day in the city.
Yeah,
Easter Saturday, and I couldn't get a coffee. Like there was nothing open. Dead square. There was just nothing, and so I ended up having to ask the guy at the Flinders Street station to let me through, so I could go to the coffee shop in Flinders Street station.
Yeah.
to kickstart me after the alcohol binge from the night before.
Well, mate, and I went after you, like later, and still things weren't open. Like, I got a coffee for Kate and I on the way back, but I had to wait. Like, I mean, I had to wait till someone opened, and it was like, oh, hold on. Like, and I don't know. I don't get it. Where, and maybe there is not much. Maybe there's not much residential foot traffic in the city for things to be open at 6 or 7. You go to, well, I feel like anywhere else, like South Yarra, Elwood, anywhere like even close to the city, like Port Melbourne, things are open at 7. Like the cafe is open for 7. You can go get brekkie at 7. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's no just residential traffic in there, but Easter Saturday, yeah, it was dead.
Often where I have a morning coffee, they're open at 6. So yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know whether the word is sad or what it is, whether it's always been that way and I haven't noticed it. The Chicks band decided to shut the city down for 2 years. Definitely been affected. But mate, Melbourne, beautiful city.
Is that you ringing?
That is me ringing. I've got, there's some really great apps where you can have phone numbers, like, different numbers. So I've got Dial Pad, which my VA uses in the Philippines.
And she's calling early. She's 6 minutes early.
Someone's definitely trying to call. And the Dial Pad's on, and then our clinic has another thing, a WebEx app that, again, goes through the phone. And so sometimes I've got, like...
No, and are they all synced in your phone? Are you still doing these ones? Like, to make sure you're Rain Man, like it's Minority Report?
Apple Watch, again.
Mate, so are you... But you've got it on at least, mate. You've got it on.
Yeah. There is the promise. There's the Apple Watch promise, and then there is the reality.
See,
I did when I was in Hamilton Island, I swam out with my Apple Watch. Again, it didn't. I swam out, but didn't swim back. And while I was out there, I tried. Have you seen the ad? I've seen it when I've been at the movies, where there is these waves. It's a scenery waves, and this call transcription comes up, and there's this operator goes, "You call 911. What's your emergency?" And then there's this guy goes, I'm out at sea, and I'm in the water. I'm 200 meters off the coast of da da da. And or she says, what's your position? He goes, 200 meters off the coast. And he goes, okay, we'll be sending a Coast Guard out to you. Just hold on, and it goes, call made with Apple Watch. Well, so you can use the Apple Watch to rescue yourself if you're out at sea.
Did you try and make a call in the middle of the ocean?
So I swam out. To Hammer Island, and I didn't ring 911, but I rang Michelle.
Yeah.
And she answered, goes, hello, what are you doing? I said, oh, this is 911? I'm on an emergency. But mate, that did work. The call out in the ocean did work.
There you go.
But that's, I don't know. I'm thinking...
But you've got it on. You've given it a second chance. You got it and you put it in the box for a while. You're giving it a second chance.
I'm thinking Mother's Day.
You're going to give it to Michelle.
Use Apple Watch.
That's funny. I actually, I like it. I went 3 months without mine. And I like it for the organisation. The Monday to Friday. I like it for Monday to Friday. Not necessarily. I don't mind on the weekends, but it's like a daily or my calendar's synced to it.
Yeah.
So it'll tell me what time to wrap something up, as opposed to, like it will go off and it will go. All right, you got 5, or based on traffic, you got to get here during this time. This will go off. Like I like it for that. I don't use all the other, as I probably should, but the other apps. But it's mainly the calendar. The texts are okay, but the calendar, syncing the calendar, so I'm not looking at a phone. Phone doesn't go off. Oh, great. This goes off. It's good. I can kind of look at my wrist and go, all right, we got that happening in half an hour, an hour.
Yeah, I did like the idea of that. I wanted to not have to carry my phone around. I hate carrying my phone around. I thought, it's all on my watch. And then, of course, it's got the pay.
But you can press the 2 buttons on the side, right?
Yeah, I know. But
you didn't want it.
Apple Pay hadn't synced properly.
Oh, shit.
I'm out there. I got no
So good.
Anyway, mate, we better wrap. Tell me, what do you reckon? What's the take home from today for our listeners? What's the action?
I think if you're thinking of potentially making any change in your world, if it's going to mean something, be aware it's not going to be easy. If it's going to mean anything, like you can make small changes every day, right? And there's actually a good book on that, Atomic Habits, about all the little 1% changes you can make every single day. That lead to.
I haven't read that book yet.
Oh, mate, next time I can bring it. I'll bring it.
Thanks heaps, but I need my own.
No, you can have it. It's a good one. On another topic, it comes with a bloody habit journal, which is absolutely. I just started using that start of this month. It is actually great. So this morning, it's like
in the back of the book.
No. It's an add-on. So you can buy the book and buy a habit journal that goes hand in hand with it. And for this month, I said, look, I need to start my day with 2 glasses of water. Before coffee, before anything, that and 15 minutes of reading minimum.
Nice.
And then it ticks it, right? And then a 1-line journal. So each day, you don't have to write a big kumbaya, just 1-line journal. So it's called line a day, a section. It's all in this one little thing.
I'm
but yeah, I think that if you're going to make significant change, be aware it's not going to be easy, right? So I think, I think that's my takeaway from today. Yours?
Mate, I think it's exactly the same. If anything's going to mean anything, if anything's important, then it's not always easy. And
bless you. Oh, one more. Bless you.
There's always 3. Why is that? Do you do 3? I always do 3. 3 seconds.
No, I'll count next time.
So now there's another dinger telling me that there's something else happening. That's a Zoom telling me that I've got a meeting, but it's persistent. Now, let me wrap by saying this, let me wrap with this quote.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never regret in the morning, I should say, in the next morning, or in the morning, it is this, I'll start again. In the morning, you will never regret the drink that you didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning, you never regret the dessert that you didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning, you'll never regret the drugs that you didn't take. I think that's something that's a quote that I read, and I think, wow, that is really good.
Mm.
And so to keep that in mind,
mm-hmm.
tomorrow morning, you won't regret the stupid thing that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid thing that you didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mate, great podcast. Good to catch up again, buddy.
Yeah, likewise.
We will talk super soon.
Will do, mate. Have a good one. Thanks for listening to another episode of Lifelong Learner. If you like this episode and want to know more and hear other episodes, head over to lifelonglearnerpodcast.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll be the first to know when new podcast episodes are coming out. And if you want to say hello, tell us a joke, or ask us a question, send us an email at hello@lifelonglearnerpodcast.com. Thanks again.